What's up, y'all? IOBA. My name is TC, aka Johnny Clyde. FYI, IOBA means Institute of Black Awareness. Institute of Black Awareness is really my DBA, but it's the name of a community center I used to go to as a child, and uh, since about 2017, I've been you know using it as the name of my business. What's my business? Well, I'm a portrait artist, is what I am. I mean, that's my day job. But anyway, what I want to talk about is how to get out of. I'm trying to think of a way to put this so as not to come off sounding a certain kind of way, but this poor people's mentality. There, yeah, poor people's mentality. A lot of people who live in, depressed areas, they work every day, they earn just enough money to keep their head above water, and they can't make no ground. But every once in a while, something will happen in their life that will offer a chance to come out of that cycle. What they got to do is be smart enough and aware enough to know when that's happening and to take advantage of it. For example, I know a young lady. She bought a house with a settlement she got. And people get settlements all the time. Instead of doing something like that, they'll buy something stupid like a fucking car or a bunch of clothes or blow it on some bullshit. She bought a house, but the house she bought was a total fixer-upper. But she bought it anyway, she paid for it. Now, early on in that process, I told her, look, you've already paid for this house cash. It needs this, it needs some major work done to it. I said, you're either going to have to get this major work done to it or sell it, get your cash, make a little money off of it and buy yourself a better property. She got mad at me, told me I was insulting her house, and she tired of people telling her house ain't shit and all of this. And I ain't talk about with her no more. I ain't talk about with her anymore. But I listened. Now, 2 years later, she has come to the realization that, yeah, she got to sell this house as is, use the money to buy a better property, just the fuck like I told her. Now, I don't claim to be no big real estate expert or anything like that, but I have owned about 4 houses. I got 2 right now, my wife and I. And the process don't change. And if you do it right, you can always make money. And that's my point. When you in a cycle of poverty, you got to strike, the hammer while the iron is hot. Something going to happen. You're going to come across a few $1,000s and you got of unexpected cash flow, and you got to use that to its greatest advantage. I mean, whatever you can do big, you should do that. You should try to be aiming towards that. And then, or it don't have to be real estate, it could be any fucking thing, but you gotta be working towards a goal. You can't be just spinning your motherfucking wheels. And if you got a man or a woman living with you and they stuck in the poor people's mindset, and they don't actively see what you doing and how you trying to pull yourself up to the next level, because sometimes it ain't, because in reality it's not that hard. They see you trying to do that and they hemming and hawing and still, just smoking weed and not thinking about nothing. It's time to leave that person behind. I said to her, okay, now, I said to her, your boyfriend, what is he doing with all this? Nothing. He just says it's my money and I can do what I want with it. I said, but y'all been together a long time. Don't he have some kind of input? Ain't he interested in what's going on? She said she makes excuses for him is what she does. But I told her this. I said, look, either old boy gonna come with you and he gonna be living rent free in your new house, or you could charge him rent and let him stay right the fuck here. But either way, a decision has to be made on your dead weight. If you got dead weight around you and you trying your best to pull up out of the endless cycle of depression and shit, you got dead weight around you. By that I mean a person who ain't contributing to your well-being. Then sometimes you got to shed that dead weight. Sometimes you got to get rid of the motherfucker or the motherfuckette, whichever way they want to be called. But you got to get rid of them, and you got to move forward. Or you got to take a step back from them at least, because some of y'all get in y'all feelings about a person and don't realize when that person ain't no good for you. I'm digressing from that point, but in order to get out of that cycle, in order to get out of that poor people cycle, you got to realize when something good is coming, or you got to make something happen. You got to be aggressive in your plan to make something happen. Take a small step every day towards making something happen to get out of that goddamn cycle, because I'm going to tell you something. I've been there, and it ain't fun, but it makes you tough and it makes you smart. To come up out of the hood and make it to shit where I'm at, lower middle class. Because I'm not upper middle class by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just a regular dude who got old, and I live off money I made in my 20s, and I got a couple of different income streams. That's another thing. You gotta create some kind of other income stream. You gotta have more than one. You gotta have more than one, even if it's only netting you a couple of $100 a month. Even if it's only because that's your car payment. You dig me? If I sell 3 pieces of art in a month, that'll pay for my truck. You dig me? And then I also work. I still work. I don't work like some crazy physically demanding job either. No. I find something I can do that brings in a paycheck, get me out to bed every morning, keep me motivated. I do my artwork on the side. My wife is still fully engaged, but she's younger than 7 years younger than me, so she can't retire yet. But what I'm saying is all you gotta do basically is keep living. But you gotta be moving forward at the same time. Get the dead weight from around your neck. Keep living. Have multiple income streams, even if they only net you a few $100s a month. That's how you get out the fucking hood. Oh, you can also buy the hood. That part. Buy your house. Go the other way. Fix the fucking house up then. Bite the bullet. You know what I mean? Pay the $20,000 for a new roof. Pay the $30,000 for a new foundation. Revamp the whole electrical system. Do all of these types of things in your fixer-upper. Do it yourself and stay there and homestead that bitch. Speaking of which, I got to do that. So yeah. But anyway, that's how you get out the hood. That's how you get out of that cycle where you don't know whether or not you're going to make it to next week. You ain't going to have the rent, this, that, the next. You got to make a conscious decision to do that shit, and it ain't going to be easy. And that's what your 30s and 40s, sometimes your 50s really look like if you black. When you work, this is the majority of the people now, because most people don't make about $35,000, $40,000 a year. Most people don't make but about $35,000, $40,000 a year. All of that bullshit you hearing about people with the 6 figures, and that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Very few people actually make over $100,000 a year. You dig me? most people is in that mid to low range because that's all that's out there is service, especially in this part of the country. So you got to make that $30,000 or $40,000 a year and grab another 10, 15, $20,000 a year somewhere else. You know what I mean? Just to keep your head above water. Maybe save a little bit. But you gotta be putting together that plan to come up out that goddamn hood. And whoever don't, I mean, come up out that cycle of poverty. I keep saying hood. See how conditioned I am? But anyway, come up out that cycle of poverty. Recognize the opportunities when they're in the front of you, however small they may be. Because goddamn it, that's the only way you're gonna do it. Sitting around waiting for quote unquote God to send you this and send you that, and nah, you got to be proactive in your shit, man. You really do. You people won't like to talk about how strong they are. Shit, what good is all that strength if you ain't using it? You dig me? So with that, I'm gonna bounce. I got a little bit of work to do today. I had to take my little puppy to the doctor. He ain't feeling well, but he gonna be all right. You know, y'all have a good day. And yeah, I had to shoot this shit while it was hot on my mind. I wasn't even planning to shoot this video. I was gonna talk about some politics or some shit. But nah, man, people need to understand that shit. Regular, everyday people need to understand that. It's some harsh realities that you got to face, especially if you're trying to better your life condition. If you're trying to better your life condition, there's some harsh realities you got to face. And then deal with them. And another one of the harsh realities is, shit, racism is real. It's going to be in your fucking face every day. But you got to develop strategies to deal with it. Deal with the racism that you see coming. There's strategies to deal with that. I'll talk about that in another video. Strategies to dealing with racism. Everyday fucking racism. You know what I mean? The kind that's so subtle you don't even know it's happening. Sometimes the racists don't even know they're being racist. Sometimes. I say racist, but it's more bigoted than prejudice. Racism itself is a whole different animal. But yeah, man, you got to be able to deal with that shit every day. Trying to like going up in the office and seeing some little white girl sitting at the office, and you with your black self, with your resume, trying to get through, and she roadblocking and gatekeeping. How to deal with that type of shit. Sometimes when you not used to that type of reaction from people, it'll scare you away, and you'll just turn away and say, them white people ain't trying to do nothing for me, blah, blah, blah. Nah, man, don't be turned around by the first asshole you run into. You heard me? Don't be turned around by the first asshole that you run into when you walk into an office or somewhere, for an interview or some shit like that. Especially when it's, when you just coming out and you just exploring the job market for real. You done took a day off from your shitty job to go try to get this good one, and this lady giving you a hard time, and you're a little intimidated, and you be like, nah, let me just go fry this chicken and cook these hamburgers over here at the fast food. I'll be all right there. And that's how a lot of black people, especially young black women and men, get turned off and just kind of accept their lot in life. No, man. No. Stay in their face until they give you what you want, or explain to you what you need in order to get what you want. And what you want is a better life for you and your family. A little bit better house, a little bit better job. You definitely need more of that shit they call money. Boy, I tell you. Anyway, I hope y'all get my point. This video this video is for people like just trying to make it. You feel me? Just trying to make it. Not somebody that's already there, not some registered nurse. This is for the CNA who got to work double shifts just to make a decent paycheck. You dig me? This is for the guys who work the parking lot at these hundreds and thousands of dealerships around here that only make about $10, $12 an hour and bust their ass all day. This is for the blue collar people who just can't break through. But you got to grit your teeth and do it. You got to grit your teeth and do it. There's some strategies out there that, I'll probably go over with everybody. But, man, listen. Y'all take care of yourself. Hit the thumbs up button on the way out. Thanks to all the new subscribers. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. TC. And I'm out. Peace.